Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something fundamental. It's all about the huge impact of, well, making tiny changes. We all want to build good habits, maybe break some bad ones. And our source today, excerpts from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, it gives us a really clear, actionable way to do just that. So our mission here is simple. Pull out the key ideas, the really essential stuff, give you a shortcut, basically, to understanding how these small daily actions, things that seem minor, can actually lead to massive change.
Exactly, and that's the core idea, isn't it? It's not just about, gritting your teeth and using willpower. It's more about understanding the system behind habits. And the book, or our summary of it, lays out a really practical framework for that. It shows you how to actually reshape things.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. Atomic habits. What does atomic really mean here? It's more than just small, right?
That's a great question. Because habit, okay, that's just something you do regularly. We get that.
Sure.
But atomic, yeah, it means small, like an atom, but also fundamental, like a building block. It implies it's the smallest indivisible unit, but also the source of immense power if you harness it. And that's where it gets really interesting, like our source points out. These tiny changes, they snowball. They accumulate over time to create these, well, huge results. You're not just trying harder, you're designing a better system.
Designing a system, not just trying harder. I like that. That feels more manageable. And Clear gives us these 4 laws to help build that system, right? A practical guide.
That's right. 4 laws of behavior change. Let's start with law 1. Make it obvious. Every habit needs a trigger, a cue, something that kicks it off. Our source uses the example of waking up and immediately checking your phone, the phone being right there. That's the obvious cue.
Got it. So the tip is literally make it obvious. Make the good cues unmissable. Like if reading more is the goal, put the book on your pillow. Right there when you wake up. Your environment kind of nudges you. Makes you think, doesn't it? What cues are around you right now,
Yep.
guiding your actions?
And then comes law 2. Make it attractive. Habits stick when there's some pleasure involved, some anticipation. It's
Love.
about the craving. That dopamine hit your brain gets thinking about the reward. You need to make the habit desirable.
Okay, so make it something you want to do. And the strategy is temptation bundling.
Hmm.
Pairing something you want to do with something you need to do. The source had that great example. I will drink tea, which I enjoy, only after I take a 10-minute walk, which I might resist otherwise.
Exactly. It links the effort to an immediate reward you already like. Makes the walk the price of admission for the tea. Clever.
Very clever. Okay, law 3.
Make it easy. This sounds simple, maybe obvious, but it's critical. If it's hard, if there's friction, you just won't stick with it long term. The action itself, the response, needs to feel almost effortless, especially at first.
Right. Reduce the friction. And the core tip here is, maybe surprisingly, start very small. Like the exercise example. Just do 2 minutes. Seriously, 2 minutes.
Yeah, it sounds almost too small.
But the point isn't the workout intensity initially. It's building the habit of showing up. Consistency first. Make it so easy you can't say no. Get that rhythm going.
Couldn't agree more. Consistency trumps intensity when you're starting out. And that brings us to the final law, law 4. Make it satisfying. For your brain to register a habit as good and worth repeating, there needs to be some kind of immediate payoff, a reward. This feedback loop is absolutely essential for locking in the behavior.
So make it satisfying. Give yourself that immediate little win. Our source mentions things like, favorite snack, maybe watching one episode of a show right after you complete the habit. That quick gratification seals the deal for your brain, makes it want to do it again tomorrow.
It really does. That immediate reinforcement is powerful. Now, what's really brilliant about this framework, as our source highlights, is how it works in reverse, too. You can take these same 4 laws and just flip them to break bad habits.
The inversion. Yes, that's such a neat trick. It makes so much sense. So let's walk through that. For a good habit, you make it obvious.
But for a bad habit, you make it invisible, hide the cues.
Good habit, make it attractive. Bad habit.
Make it unattractive. Focus on the downsides.
Good habit, make it easy. Bad habit.
Make it difficult. Add friction. Make it a hassle.
And finally, good habit. Make it satisfying. So, bad habit.
Make it unsatisfying. Link it to an immediate negative consequence, even a small one.
It's like you're reverse engineering the process.
Exactly. You're using the same psychological levers, just pushing in the opposite direction, making the unwanted thing harder and less appealing to do,
Yeah?
designing your environment against it.
So we have these laws, these tiny actions, but then there's the long game, right? The big picture.
Yeah.
And this is where that concept of the compound effect comes in. Our source really emphasizes this.
Oh, absolutely. This is where the magic really happens over time. The math is, frankly, stunning. Improving by just 1% a day doesn't sound like much, does it?
No, feels tiny.
But compound that over a year, and the source says you end up 37 times better. 37 times. It's like investing. Small, consistent deposits grow exponentially over time. The early stages feel slow, but then it really takes off.
Wow. So what that really means for you listening is, don't discount those tiny wins.
Right.
That 1% improvement, that 2-minute workout, reading one page, it feels like nothing day to day. But they're not just adding up, they're multiplying. It's a powerful reminder that consistency is key.
It really is. And building on that, there's another layer James Clear talks about: identity-based habits. This shifts the focus. It's not just about what you want to achieve, like running a marathon. It's about who you want to become.
Ah, yes. The source gave that really clear example. Don't just say, I'm trying to run. Instead, shift your mindset to, I am a runner.
Precisely. It's a fundamental shift in self-perception. Because when you see yourself as a runner, running isn't something you have to do. It's just something you do because that's who you are. It makes the habit feel natural, effortless, part of your identity. It begs the question, how does your current self-image influence your actions? And how could changing it change your habits?
That's deep. It connects the actions back to the self. And to make all this more concrete, the book suggests practical tools too, right? Like habit tracking.
Yes, definitely. Our source mentions using things like calendars or apps. Just seeing that visual proof of progress, like crossing off days on a calendar, builds momentum. You create a chain and you don't want to break it. It taps into that and make it satisfying law.
And also environment design.
Absolutely, which loops right back to making things obvious, easy, or invisible and difficult. It's about consciously shaping your space, your desk, your kitchen, your phone to support the habits you want and hinder the ones you don't. Making your environment work for you, not against you.
Okay, so as we start to wrap this up, let's quickly recap the big takeaways from our dive into atomic habits based on these excerpts. First, those small atomic changes. They are genuinely powerful. They build up to massive results.
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the 1%.
Second, your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. It's a two-way street. Think about who you want to become.
That identity piece is key for long-term change.
Third, those 4 laws: obvious, attractive, easy, satisfying. They're your toolkit. Use them forwards for good habits, backwards for bad ones.
A very practical framework.
And fourth, consistency is king. That 1% daily improvement, fueled by the compound effect, is the path to remarkable long-term success.
Couldn't have said it better. It's about the long game. And maybe a final thought for you to consider, something that ties it all together. If your habits right now truly reflect your current identity, what's just one small atomic habit you could start today? Just one tiny thing that would begin building the identity of the person you aspire to be.
It's a powerful question to leave things on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope exploring these ideas helps you harness the power of those small changes in your own life.